Hello everyone, Onlydraven here again, and today we're doing another tutorial in Minecraft Sky Factory 4. Today I'm going to be showing you just one of the basic setups for setting up an ME storage system. There are different configurations on how to set this up. I'm doing just a very basic, easy way to get you started. This has probably been one of my most requested videos, so I'm glad to finally get to put it out for you. If you find the video helpful, please be sure to click like, and most importantly, please remember to hit that subscribe button, so that way you can see all my tutorials and content as it comes out. So, today this one's going to have a little bit more parts to it than some of the other ones, so it'll take a little bit longer. We're going to be doing, as I mentioned, the storage system. So if we go into our advancements book to Age of Storage, we're going to be messing with all this stuff down here in the bottom right hand corner. Now there's a lot of things like how to obtain a press. A lot of these are individual steps that I will show in future videos, but right now I'm going to show how to just set up the system once you have all of the components needed. So let's see what we need. Starting off, we're going to need an energy acceptor, and that is going to be 4 quartz glass, 4 iron ingots, and 1 flux crystal. We're going to need an ME interface, which is 4 iron ingots, 2 pieces of glass, and 2 formation core. Next, we're going to need an ME drive, and that's going to be 4 iron ingots, 2 engineering processors, and 2 ME glass cable fluix. That's important to make sure you're doing the right one here. There's a lot of different glass cables. The fluix one is what you need for this setup. Next, we're going to be doing an ME terminal. There are more advanced terminals, such as crafting terminals. We'll look at that later. We're just going to start with the starting terminal here, and that's going to be 2 formation core, 1 logic processor, and 1 illuminated panel. Next, we're going to make some ME glass cables, and for this one I'm just making the white. There are different colors. You can look up those in the JEI menu, but that is just 8 of the ME glass cable fluix we mentioned earlier, and 1 bone meal. Next, we're going to need an ME storage cell. The smallest one here I've got is the 1K storage cell. We're going to do that one here, which is 3 iron ingots, 3 redstone, 2 quartz glass, and a 1K ME storage component. Again, you can go into the menu and there are more larger versions of the storage cells. Next, we're going to make an ME import bus. This we'll use not for setting up the system itself, but for moving items into it. That's going to be 2 iron ingots, 1 annihilation core, and 1 sticky piston. Okay, so that's kind of the basics. Now for this, I'm just going to be using a very basic upgradable combustion generator. I've already got it going with a little bit of power in there. I recommend better or stronger energy sources to keep this up and running in the future, but for this one we're just using a very basic setup. So let's go ahead and grab all those components we just talked about there. Alright, so to set up your ME system, next to your energy source, that's where you're going to put your energy acceptor. That's where it pulls the energy in and moves it to the rest of the components. Next, we're going to put down an ME drive, and then we're going to put down our ME interface. That's our 3 basic components. Now, we're going to hook up our terminal on top of the drive. For that, I'm going to hit Shift, right-click, to put just one of the glass cables white that I made, and then we're going to just right-click our terminal on there. Now, since the power is coming in, now that we have that set up, you right-click, you basically have your ME system. Now, to store items in it, you need to put your storage cell inside the ME drive. Now, my storage cell already had a few things in it. I'll take those out. So if we just click on our interface to see there's nothing in there, to put stuff in the storage, you can just go ahead and load it right in. Oh, and it's raining. We'll get rid of that. So that'll put the items inside and store them inside your storage cell. And you can throw some other things in there as well if you want, and they're good to go. Now with an upgraded crafting terminal, you can craft in here as well, but that's not quite as needed right in the early game. You just want to get stuff going. So now that you have that in there, how can you go ahead and get items to automatically load inside your ME storage system? Because that's really it for the ME storage. You can just add additional or larger of the storage cells to increase your storage size. You can even add additional ME drives to the setup by just setting it next to it, which will give you additional slots for storage as well. But if you have items that you want to automatically move in, say for example from this chest, say in this chest we've got some oak wood blocks, and we want to get those into our storage system. Those need to go into our interface. So for that, that's where we're going to need that ME import bus that I mentioned earlier. We're going to import the items by hitting Shift, right click on the side of the chest. So we're importing items from this chest into that. And then all you have to do is right click, well, Shift right click with your glass table. Again, I'm using just white. Any of the colors will work. And by doing that, you'll see that those are slowly dropping, quickly dropping. And then we look inside of our interface, and you can see the wood blocks are now loading inside. So if you have other storage systems, you can run them into a specific chest, or even an ender chest. If you have a large storage thing, you can just run it into that. Wirelessly is another great way to do it. If you stick some of the wireless nodes on this chest and just have all your other storages coming into this, then this chest will feed into here. It's a great way of moving all of your items from one storage system into another. But the important thing, again, is to remember to use the import bus, and that has to run into your interface to automatically transfer items into your terminal. And you can just pull them out just like you would any other storage, and then any items going in here are just going to feed right back into it again. Now, the important thing to remember with a storage cell is you can see it's saying that a certain amount of bytes are used. That's items that it will hold. And then one of 63 types. So that means in this here, it will hold 63 different types of items. So that's something to remember when you want to increase your storage. Well, it'll hold a lot of a certain item. It'll only hold a certain amount of types of items unless you add additional storage cells or upgrade your system as a whole. But that is just the basic setup for an ME storage system. And as I said, some of the components to make it can be a little bit more advanced using different machines. I will show individual tutorials on how to use those machines to make some of these parts later in case you're unfamiliar with those. But once you have all your parts, this is your basic setup. You can just click on there and use it as needed. So, alrighty. So not too bad. Pretty easy stuff. If you do have any questions about this tutorial or any of my tutorials, please be sure to put those down in the comments, as well as any recommendations or suggestions for other tutorials you'd like to see in Sky Factory 4. I'm always looking for different ideas and things to put together. So that's it for this one here. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Have a great day.